Welcome back to the Black Bastard Video Podcast. It's your host, Max Road, the video hunting shark, rewinding tapes, checking out trailers, and getting rid of any videos we no longer want nor need. Getting rid of videos we no longer want nor need. That is the main focus for today's podcast. Maybe we'll check out trailers, maybe we'll rewind tapes, but really, honestly, I gotta get some of this stuff out. First, what I'm gonna do first is, so you can understand my taste and what I like, and you'll get a feel as to why I'm getting rid of some items. And today it's not going to be tapes, it's going to be laser discs. So here are about 7 laser discs that are right up my alley to keep. It came from beneath and 20 million miles to Earth. I don't know where I got this. It says Streetlight Records, but I don't remember that. And that's a shame that I don't remember a lot of the times where I picked up my Laserdisc. But if I did get it from Streetlight Records, I don't remember paying $20 for this. I would have paid $20 for this and been happy. But I don't remember. And if I did get it from Streetlight Records, it would be the Streetlight Records down in Santa Cruz. But I don't believe I got it from Streetlight Records in Santa Cruz, because Streetlight Records in Santa Cruz will sell you 5 laser discs for $10. Now you may think, hey, that's a hell of a steal. I get all the way down there from San Francisco Bay Area to Streetlight Records, and in anticipation, oh God, I can't wait. I know the deals. I get in there, it's going to be so many laser discs I want for such a great price, and then no, there's nothing. If there is something, I already own it. Or it's all common titles or garbage. And in fact, I think one of the LDs that I'm getting rid of today is from Streetlight Records, for sure from Streetlight Records, and it was a garbage Laserdisc. And I just, sometimes in this collecting game, you will buy something just because you have to buy something. You're like, I'm not leaving here. You're like, Thomas Jane's character on Boogie Nights, you know. You come for what's under the bed. I want the safe under the bed, because that's what we came to do, you know. Yeah. So, Ray Harryhausen. It would have been nice if this was a gatefold, but that's okay, because the lobby cars on the front are awesome in itself. We turn to the back, we got the octopus, we got the whatever the heck that is. What is that? What is that supposed to be? Some mythological creature, that's what it is. Alright, this is a recent watch on VHS, which I'm going to go ahead and watch once more on Laserdisc. Of course, when I want to find it, I can't find it. Where's that VHS I just had? Time Machine. I know I didn't walk away paying less than $2 for this. This was probably this could have been as high as $7, $8. I had to have it though. It's one of those crackpot movies. He went all the way back. Excuse me. He didn't go back. He went back to the future. He went all the way back to the future, and the future was. It was partly good, partly bad. These things, they live underground. These monsters, they live underground, but all the sexy ladies, they live above ground. And this is his girlfriend. He could have just got one of those in his time. He didn't have to go all the way to 2045 or whatever year that was. All right, this right here. Speaking of crackpot scientists, when I watch this movie right here, I pretend that this is Doc Brown and that's Marty McFly. If Doc Brown and Marty McFly were vampire hunters, they would be these two characters. This is the director's uncut and uncensored version of The Fearless Vampire Killers. Or, pardon me, but your teeth are in my neck. It is a gatefold. Smells like old people. Ugh. You guys know what I'm talking about? Old people. When you go to like an old white man's house to get laser discs. And it has that stink. It has that smell like he's going to be dead in less than 5 years. Alright. We got The Prince and the Pauper. Pauper? Oh. Why do you have it? Because Errol Flynn's in it. It's another gatefold. There's Errol Flynn right there. I'm actually tempted to throw this on right now. I was going to throw on Shocker, but Shocker is not a morning movie, man. It's not a good morning movie. I don't want to start my day off like that. Start my day off with an execution and a resurrection, you know. Yeah. Behind me, we have a good morning movie, which is 2010, the year we made contact. But The Prince and the Pauper is, it's about 10:30 in the morning right now, and I think this is the flick I want to throw on rather than... This is another good morning movie, or a good noon movie. I talked about it recently on the podcast because I have it right here on VHS. I grew up watching this movie. I'm not into war movies really at all, but there's always an exception to the rule, and Hope and Glory is that exception. I possibly won't watch this right now because I have things to do later, and I stated on a previous podcast that I don't like watching weak shit. Okay, I don't like watching characters that are vulnerable before I have to go do badass shit, basically. And no cap on my guy, he's a strong fella, but he goes through a lot of strife, and I don't want to put my mind into that mental state. However, The Prince and the Pauper, you know, it's me against the world, you know. Everybody got their swords on me. Yeah, this has got to be a good flick. Never seen it. I've seen the Mickey Mouse version. It's where they switch, right? It's a switcheroo movie, right? All right, here go the flicks that we are going to rid ourselves of. Now, as I go through them, it's kind of are you going to keep or heap them? Let me take a pause to throw on my movie, and then we'll get back to it. This needs to get lowered. Oh. Sorry, Shocker. I'm gonna watch you tonight, or one of these nights, one of these long and crazy nights.
On October 2nd, at 6:45 a.m., mass murderer Horace Pinker was put to death.
No, he's really mad.
Get him out of here! From Wes Craven, creator of the original Nightmare on Elm Street.
No more!
Shocker. Rated R. Starts Friday at a theater near you.
Real quick, from 2010, the year we made contact, do you think that they bastardized the franchise? Do you think they should have made a part 2? I mean, just because it was Stanley Kubrick who directed it, he didn't write it. This is not his. It's not his. It's not his. Right? They found a director to make the second book in the franchise. Well, why haven't they made a part 3? Because I believe there's a third book. Why haven't they made a part 3? Just get a new director. But I think it's surreal that they got this actor from the first one to come back. This is, I believe it's a great sequel. It's not needed. It's not needed. But I think it's a great sequel. Because it's certified. It's a certified part 2. All right, here we go. Laser discs that are on the chopping block that are likely out of here. A lot of these are perfect examples as to why I had to stop smoking weed. Because when I smoke weed, I would go on adventures. And I would find value in things that I normally, in my right state of mind, would not find value in. And that has wasted a lot of money, you know, like just geeking out, tweaking out, buying things. At the time, I was like, yeah, Saving Faces of Dr. Lau. But this is not my vibe at all, man. Oh. Maybe it is. A spellbinding, one-of-a-kind fantasy starring Tony Randall in 7 roles. And I'll go through that real quick, but the reason he plays... I don't like any movie where a white man is playing basically anything other than a white man. Like, it seems distasteful. I don't like none of that Fu Manchu stuff, man. I don't like that stuff, man. Now, I know it's a time capsule of how things were at a time, and that's why movies should be preserved. But I don't like it. I just don't like it, man. Even The Shadow. I don't really like watching The Shadow. Because he does that. I don't know, man. It's just, it's very tone deaf. Okay, that's all, man. All right. Imagine a dusty western town on a hot summer afternoon. I'd rather not. Suddenly, a bearded Chinaman. I might get I might get flagged for saying that. Suddenly, a bearded Chinaman named Dr. Lau appears out of nowhere, perched atop a yellow mule and prepared to change the town forever with his magical, mystical circus. So begins this enchanting fantasy adventure starring Tony Randall in the most remarkable role of his career. Who is Dr. Lau, And why has he ridden into Abalone to present his one-of-a-kind circus? Before the answers are revealed, the astonished townspeople are shown Dr. Lau's dazzling series of parables and visions. In makeup so extraordinary, it received a special Academy Award. The good doctor assumes different disguises that range from the abominable snowman to Merlin the magician. By the time he vanishes, the people learn a lot about pride and self-reliance. Based on the popular novel by Charles G. Finney and produced and directed by special effects wizard George Powell, Seven Faces of Dr. Lau also stars John Erickson and Barbara Eden. I Dream of Jeannie. Okay. I was going to get rid of this, but the fact that you have Jeannie, I'm going to keep it, okay? I'm going to keep it. And, you know, they got Merlin the magician, the abominable snowman. Okay, he's not just being a Chinaman the entire time. Yeah, that's a keeper, okay? That's a keeper. This guy completely ruined his career. One fateful night when he picked up Divine Brown. This is Hugh Grant and Maurice. I mean, why is this in my collection? How loaded was I? I had to be high. I'm not... What was I on? I don't even like the cover. I don't like Hugh Grant. What the hell was I thinking? You're gone. And no one's even going to buy that. I'm going to try to sell this and no one's going to buy it. All right. I know there's many people who like this and will be like, "Do you get rid of that? That's the sequel or prequel to Silence of the Lambs." I've watched it. I watched it back in the day. I didn't like it. Don't care for it. Not my vibe at all. Hannibal the Cannibal. Believe him if you dare. Like, he was destined to be a cannibal, right? His name's Hannibal. Like, it's not his fault. It's his mom's fault for naming him that. Yeah, I just don't care for this. Yeah, it's Michael Mann, and I'm not a huge Michael Mann fan. So yeah, that's out of here. I'm not a Man Dingo fan either. Once again, I must have been loaded. I must have been high out of my mind. I don't like none of this slave stuff, man. It just makes me furious whenever I watch stuff like that. I saw girls and was like, yeah, gotta get it, gotta get Kika. It's, I think it's in Spanish. It's out of here. No one's gonna buy it. I bought this strictly on the cover. I hate Bette Midler. I despise this woman. And I don't like Danny DeVito either. But the cover's dope. The cover's dope, and I think I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, I'm keeping it. I'm not sitting through this film. And how I'm gonna sell this? Huh? How I'm gonna sell this? Look, they got shot in the back of their head. What am I gonna do with this? Quiz show. If you ain't never seen it, don't watch it. It sucks. Alright. We got Palmetto, Elizabeth Shue, Gina Gershon, Woody Harrelson. Gina Gershon got typecast. She's always effing people over in every movie she's in. Stage a bonus kidnapping, collect a satchel full of ransom cash, take 10% off the top, and have a nice life. See you later. They told Harry Barber the plan would run like clockwork, but tick-tock, it's hapless Harry who's running out of time. Woody Harrelson is Harry, a desperate Florida drifter who goes from perpetrator to Patsy when he's lured into an abduction scam proposed by mysterious blonde director Volker Schallendorf. The Tin Drum, The Handmaid's Tale, working from a script by E. Max Fryer, Something Wild, steadily cranks up the stakes as Harry scrambles to untangle a mystery involving three women, Elizabeth Shue, Gina Gershon, and Chloe Sevigny. False identities, cold corpses, and a sting of clues that set him up for a very hard fall. Palmetto may look like just another sleepy seaside town, but it's a world of trouble for Harry. Yeah, never heard of it. I think I'm going to hold on to this. I'm not really into these movies. That's like something that would have been on Showtime back in 1994. And I would have watched it and wasted my life watching it when I should be doing my homework. All right, this is Millennium. We've been expecting you. Yeah, this is sci-fi tweaky shit. Hey, that's Chris Christopherson. Rest in peace. He just died a couple days ago. I think that's Chris Christopherson. Yeah, he has a very unique look. Chris Christopherson's best movie ever is Convoy. They used to play that late night on USA, and there's a part where his girlfriend shows her titties. And I was like, yo, there's titties being shown on USA. Granted, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. All right. I watched this movie when I was younger. Never will watch it again. I don't like any of these kind of soldier movies, any war movies. I hate them. They bore me. I don't like them. They're gone. And I hate this guy. Reminds me of a family member of mine. It's a good movie. I'm not like saying it isn't. I just don't care for it, man. I'm not gonna watch it. Okay, we got Swan Lake. I'm not getting rid of this because I like Swan Lake. All right, and the band played on. I saw the word AIDS and was like, I'm good. From Randy Schilt's bestseller comes a powerful, enlightening, and moving chronicle of our times. In the summer of '81, few knew of the deadly disease we now call AIDS, and the band played on follows the struggle of a handful of strong-willed men and women who took on the fight to save lives. Yeah, man. No. Okay? That's not entertaining. I'm here to, have fun. I want to watch fun stuff. I don't want to depress myself. We got Angels and Insects. This is the movie I got from Streetlight Records down in Santa Cruz. And this is straight up like, I got to get something, man. I'm not leaving here. God, what is this crap? I mean, that's the thing about Laserdisc and VHSs. When you first start, you're just like, you collect everything, any and everything. All right, I told you I wasn't into war movies. A Bridge Too Far. When will I watch this? When am I going to watch this? When am I going to come home and sit down and watch this? Roadhouse. I need that. Never. That's when. I'm never going to watch this. It's going to give me a headache. Operation Market Garden. A bold plan to drop 35,000 U.S. and British paratroops into Eastern Holland and to secure the 6 major bridges leading to the German border, thus to end the war by the end of 1944. Daring? Yes. Foolhardily? You be the judge. Based on Cornelius Ryan's best-selling novel, A Bridge Too Far recreates the stunning detail of this controversial episode in military history. Director Sir Richard Attenborough, Gandhi, and writer William Goldman, all the President's Men. bring to life an epic, both monumental in its scale and surprising in its subtly. The all-star cast: Redford, Kane, Connery, Hackman, and Olivier, to name but a few, give performances notable for their restraint and for a sense of character achieved economically and without flair. Charles Chaplin, Los Angeles Times, with compelling vignettes, unforgettable images such as sky mushroomed with falling parachutes, and startling battle sequences, a bridge too far, says the Hollywood Reporter, manages to convey the grisly horror of war and at the same time to celebrate the excitement of battle. Oh, God. This shit gives me a headache, man. I'm gonna keep it. Alright. Polyester. This is with Divine, and she eats a piece of shit, and that's why I'm not watching this movie, okay? I've seen that clip, and I'm like, sorry, John Waters, nope. Crybaby, yes. Polyester, no. Alright, this right here has been in my collection since very, very early days of collecting Laserdiscs. And once again, it was I need to get a Laserdisc, I see a hottie, and I'm going to try to ignore this guy and just focus on her, but I could never throw this on, because I knew I was going to have to endure that guy, and I don't want to see that guy. Okay, so never going to sell it. No one's going to buy that, okay? I got this from Goodwill. Robert Redford, Michelle Pfeiffer. It looks boring. Not watching it ever. Just not going to do it. It's out of here. All right. We got Eat, Drink, Man, Woman. I bought it for the hotties on the cover, and I never watched it, and I probably never will. She works at Wendy's. I think I'm going to keep it. Just to see the Wendy's scene. I got to see that. I'm not getting rid of that. All right. We got Shattered Image. We got Bo Derek and Jack Scalia from Blue Velvet, right? I think. She's dangerous. He's explosive. Together they're dynamite. Bo Derek, star as a once famous model known for her classic good looks, who agrees to a kidnapping scam which will reward her with enough money to make a new life for herself. When the plan backfires, her husband is killed. Jack Scalia co-stars as FBI investigator Brian Dillon, who, in search of the truth, goes undercover to solve the crime. When a scared Helen turns to Dillon for protection from her husband's killers, they become involved in a dangerous and torrid love affair, which evolves into a maze of greed and lust, leading to the fateful truth. You know, this movie right here, if you've seen Poetic Justice and the movie starts off and they're watching a movie, turns out, yeah, at first you're like, what the hell's going on? Then you realize they're in a drive-in movie theater. This is the crap they're watching right here. I'm going to keep it for Bo Derek. All right. Once again, here's another. I'm going to walk out of here with something, even if it kills me. All right. So, Wind. We got Maddie Moe and Jennifer Grey. I bought it for Jennifer Grey, but I cannot see myself caring so much about this movie. Is it a drama? I don't know. God, this description is long. In over 140 years of competition, the United States only lost the America's Cup once. The Australians a la Bond in 1983. US's Dennis Conner regained the cup 4 years later. Conner's book Comeback. This is boring, okay? Get out of here. We got Diabolique. Not Danger Diabolique, which is a great movie. We got just Diabolique. I'm not a fan of Chaz Palminteri. I'm not a fan of Sharon Stone. Kathy Bates is in here. You're forcing me. Yeah, 2 women, 1 plan. We'll poison the creep who treats us like dirt. They agree. We'll dump the body in a murky pool, and someone will find a surprise at the bottom. There's a surprise, all right. When the pool is drained and cleaned, no body is found. Sharon Stone and Isabel Adjani pour on the femme and the fatale in a diabolical grabber on a suspense thriller directed by Jeremiah Chechik, Benny and June, and based in part on the classic 1955 French spellbinder Les Diaboliques. Will the women get away with bloody murder? Has someone removed the body of the victim and begun playing mind games with them? Add to the mix a tough cookie of a detective, Kathy Bates, and you've got the ingredients for a nail biter who's first scene to the last. From first scene to the last. This is grown-up movie. Okay? While I'm watching Three Ninjas Kick Back, my mom is watching this in the other room, and I'm like, is the spaghetti almost done? Dangerous Minds. I work with young people, and look, I don't have kids, so I have to deal with 20-something-year-olds in spurts, and I'm not good at it. I'm not a teacher. Oh my God. You watch this movie, and I'm going to keep it. You watch this movie and you're like, why are teenagers and 20-something-year-olds this throughout time? There's never a like, I don't know how to even say what I'm trying to say without sounding like a hater, sound like a boomer, because I was them. I would not want to hang out. I would not want to talk to a younger me. They're allowed to not know, but you know they know. They're allowed to play like they're weak. And weak and tired, knowing damn well they're not. They're allowed to have a bunch of excuses while old people are not allowed to have excuses. Even though old people are in pain every day. Emotional pain and physical pain. But we're not allowed to complain. We are supposed to endure while the youth are going through pain, but they don't know how to deal with it yet. And if you are reactive how they're reactive, that means you've given up your post. You've given up your position as the elder statesperson. And you look ridiculous. Like, if you, I'm not going to even talk about it, but I'm not going to bring up a movie I just watched, because I talked about it last podcast. It's just, when an adult is behaving juvenile. It's very off-putting. You are to remain stoic and basically put up with shit. When you want to go, enough is enough. It's time for me to clap back. But your clap back makes the youth cry. Like as an adult, you're not allowed to administer retribution on the youth. You're just not allowed. Like, if I was to knock a 22-year-old out for talking shit, I gotta talk to his parents, and his parents be like, "Why you do that? Why you knock my son out? Why did I knock your son out? He keep my car. But you didn't have to do him like that." Yeah, when he smashed my windows in. But you didn't have to do it like that either. You want to knock somebody out, knock me out. Yeah, I'll knock your toothless ass out too.
No. Get off your ass and get in this car.
What happened to it takes a village to raise a child? They spared the rod on many of children. They spared the rod. That's the problem with these kids in this movie. They spared the rod. All of them look like they're from single parent homes. The tough as nail father was ostracized for disciplining his children. So they grew up to be, look at this dude with his mean mug. Like, dude, I knocked your little bitch ass out. I mean, I hated this movie when I was a teenager. I hated this movie. I hated the teenagers in this movie when I was a teenager. I'm going to keep it. We got Andy Warhol. This guy's a weirdo, okay? A freaking weirdo, but I'm going to keep it. I just can't get rid of this. Man. All right. We got A Reason to Believe in Me. All right. This looks... Oh, God. I was going to say this looks very white, and then one black man is just right there. This looks like higher learning, but like if we just hung out with the white kids and our one black friend, if we hung out with Malik and his white buddies, this is higher learning. It began as a typical college party, laughing, drinking, fun, but before the night is over, one woman's life will be forever changed. The envy of her sorority sisters, Charlotte Brine, Allison Smith, has everything: looks, popularity, and Wesley J. Underwood, a boyfriend in a fraternity with a well-deserved reputation for its chauvinistic exploits. But one night, Charlotte attends a party without Wesley and falls prey to the overtures of his frat brother, Jim, a devious womanizer. Not one to take no for an answer, Jim isolates and forces Charlotte into an unwanted sexual encounter. And that's just the beginning of her nightmare. Wesley learned of the incident and, blaming Charlotte, breaks up with her. Jim trivializes and boasts of his conquest. She's ostracized by her sorority sisters. But with help from a campus support group, Charlotte finds her courage and decides to take legal action. In the tradition of the accused and extremities, what follows is a profile in strength that leaves none of her values or friendship unchallenged, and justice hanging in the balance. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. It features music from 10,000 Maniacs, R.A.M., Concrete Blonde, Blind Melon, and Violent Femmes. Alright, lastly, we have Alec Baldwin, Nicole Kidman, Bill Pullman. That's an ensemble right there. Malice, Deception, Betrayal, Murder. Some things you never see coming. I remember seeing trailers for this movie back when I was a kid, and I didn't like what I saw. And I might even sat there and watched a little bit, and I didn't like what I saw. Alright, yeah, Malice, you're out of here. I don't care for you. Okay, Keepers. What do you think? Did I get rid of some things that I should have kept? Did I keep some things I should have got rid of? Excuse me. Thanks for tuning into the Black Bastard Video Podcast.